my name is Dawn, and today I'm going to teach you 12 very useful idioms that are used in English by native speakers all the time. If you are learning English right now, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel for more videos. All right, so let's talk about idioms. What are idioms? So basically, idioms are short form expressions that can be used by themselves or they can be used inside sentences. English has so many idioms, but these are 12 that are very common. But first, let's talk about how you can learn idioms. Now, you can learn idioms one by one, understanding what they are one by one. But really, the only way to really practice idioms and get better at them and use them is totally by practicing. The best is to practice them in sentences and in a context where you can use them. The only way you can really learn them is through context. The reason why is that they do not translate word by word into your own language. You really have to use them as an expression in a full context to be able to really understand them. But with lots of practice, you'll be able to get them. So let's talk about our number one idiom. So this is called white lie. So what is a white lie? Basically, a white lie is a lie that is not harmful. So it's not a big lie, it's not going to change somebody's life, but it is a lie that maybe it's a little playful. So for example, maybe I eat my friend's cookie and she says, "Hey, where's my cookie?" And I'll say, "I don't know." But that's just a white lie, because is it going to change her life? No. And you can even say it as an expression like, "Oh, it's just a white lie, it's fine." So, white lie. All right, our second idiom is out of the blue. Out of the blue kind of means when something just appears out of nowhere, when something just comes to you. So for example, if I am reading my book outside, maybe I'm by a tree, I'm reading a book, and then boom, a bird comes. This bird would be coming out of the blue. So I was reading my book one day, and out of the blue, this bird was there. So out of the blue, for something that just appears. All right, number 3. Spill the beans. So I use this one with my friends all the time. It's more commonly used if you are talking about some drama or maybe talking about some kind of secret that you're holding and your friend comes to you and says, "Tell me, spill the beans, tell me everything." So spill the beans. All right, number 4, pull someone's leg. So when you pull someone's leg, we do not mean literally. We're not yanking our friend's leg. What we mean by this is when we make a joke. So for example, if I'm just laughing at my friend and I said, "Oh, your shirt looks so funny today," and they say, "Really?" I'm like, "Oh, no, I'm just pulling your leg." Then that's letting them know, like, "No, I'm not serious. I'm just joking. I'm pulling your leg." Pulling your leg, pulling my leg, that is the idiom. All right, number 5. Once in a blue moon. So once in a blue moon, we use it when something rare happens, when something doesn't happen very often. So for example, I am from Canada, and in Canada, we sometimes have the Northern Lights, which are those big, beautiful dancing lights that happen at night, but they only come once in a blue moon. They're not there every night, only very rarely. So once in a blue moon, we get to enjoy the Northern Lights. All right, number 6, take it with a pinch of salt. So what this means is when somebody tells you something, maybe they give you bad advice, maybe they tell you something really wrong, and you know not to believe them because you know that you should only take it with a pinch of salt. So that's kind of what it means. If somebody tells you something that is maybe not correct, you can just take their advice with a little pinch of salt. So you don't have to really believe them if you don't want to. And we also say take it with a grain of salt too. So that's also a very common expression, idiom. They mean the same thing. Take it with a pinch of salt, take it with a grain of salt. Both of them mean that don't believe them. Don't believe this person that's telling you something outlandish. All right, number 7, come rain or shine. So if somebody tells you, "Yeah, come rain or shine," That means if you are planning something, maybe a picnic, maybe camping, maybe going for a run somewhere, if you say, oh yeah, come rain or shine, that means you are coming no matter what. So if it's raining, if it's snowing, if it's hailing, if there's a storm outside, like, you are going to go. And we use this very often in Canada because we have lots of crazy weather there. So if we're planning a camping trip, on the invitation, it always says, come rain or shine. All right, number 8. You can say that again. So when you use this idiom, you're basically saying that you agree with the person. So maybe somebody is saying like, oh, I can't believe it. Like, my boss is making me do this, but I don't believe I should do that. And if you agree with that person who is talking, you can say, oh yeah, you can say that again. If you really feel like you believe everything they're saying and you agree and you want to tell them that you agree, instead of saying, oh yeah, I agree, you can say, oh yeah, you can say that again. All right, number 9, jump on the bandwagon. So this one needs a little bit more context. So when we're talking about a bandwagon, just imagine it's a metaphor of a wagon and people are on it. And the idea is when there is like a big trend, like TikTok, for example, when everybody started using TikTok, they were all jumping on the bandwagon. They were all doing this because it was the thing to do. It's the trend. So they are all jumping on the bandwagon. And also you can say jump off the bandwagon. So maybe one day you just stop using TikTok, or maybe one day you stop liking the same band as everybody else. You can say, yeah, I jumped off the bandwagon, so I'm not interested in it anymore. I jumped off the bandwagon. All right, number 10, beat around the bush. I really like this one because it means that you're basically not telling somebody something very direct. It means that you're telling something very indirectly. So I'll give you an example. If I were to say, oh, your hair looks terrible, that's not beating around the bush. That's being very direct. But if I said, oh, I don't know if your hair, it looks okay, but I think it might look better if you did something like this, that's beating around the bush because maybe you don't want to hurt that person's feelings, and so you're being very gentle. And that's very common to do. And so you are beating around the bush just to make sure that you don't hurt their feelings. However, if you are very direct, you can say, don't beat around the bush, tell me how it looks. Then you can say, okay, your hair looks terrible. All right, number 11, miss the boat. This is very similar to the bandwagon idiom because it's kind of the idea that everybody is on the same thing, so in this case a boat, and they are enjoying. So when everybody was joining TikTok, they're all joining onto this boat. But for me, I didn't really know about TikTok at first. I didn't really care to try it. So everybody was using TikTok and I missed the boat because I did not use it. However, now I jumped on the bandwagon and I love TikTok now. But when it first started, I missed the boat completely. I just did not follow what everybody else was doing. All right, so our last very common idiom for today is hit the sack. So when you hit the sack, you're not actually hitting anything. The idea is that you are going to sleep, you are going to bed. And so the sack would be your bed. And so you're just going to lie down in it. So if you say, oh, it's been a long night, I think I'm gonna hit the sack. That means, okay, everybody, I'm going to bed. All right, so those are your 12 idioms that are very commonly used in English by native speakers. Do give these a try. If you're wondering how to use them in your own examples, go ahead, leave me a comment. You can ask a question there and I will respond to you. And again, if you are learning English, be sure to subscribe to my channel because I will be giving you more English tips every single week. All right, that is all for today. Have a good one.